turning the Citibank brand from a niche foreign bank to the preferred bank of choice for 1.7 million Hong Kongers. In the aftermath of the economic crisis, Citibank Hong Kong identified its growth strategy: turn Citibank from a niche foreign bank to the preferred bank of choice for 1.7 million Hong Kongers. By tackling the so-called emerging affluent segment. The challenge was threefold. Challenge 1. The retail banking arena was mature and commoditized. Big local and international players dominated the scene. Challenge 2. The category was governed by inertia. The emerging affluents were most likely sticking to their main transaction bank. Challenge 3. Citibank was not seen as a valid main bank alternative for 4 reasons. Given the challenge, we turned to the consumers for strong local insight. We learned that their apathy towards the financial category had turned into bitterness following the crisis, which had left the local middle class shorter on money and on trust, particularly towards financial institutions, and now they needed and wanted to take control over their money to rebuild their wealth. A radical category rethinking was demanded, and Citibank was to drive it to become Hong Kong's emerging affluence retail bank of choice. Citibank's promise became to break the category norm to empower the local middle class, to make their lives happen through products and services that match their progressive and growth-oriented nature. Advertising was left with the arduous task of shaking the category inertia and convincing 1.7 million Hong Kongers to start banking with Citibank. This was achieved through the new standards powered by Citi platform, and executed via a 3-step ATL-focused campaign that tapped into the emerging affluent's biggest category frustrations and aspirations and consistently responded with category-changing evidence. Step 1 challenged the status quo by sending out a series of 10-second TVC wake-up calls about the standards emerging affluents were putting up with.
點解0.001% 都算係利息？
點解銀行嘅服務熱線夜晚冇真人接聽嘅？
喺辦公時間再打個電話嚟啊！
點解銀行唔等埋我至收工啊？
Step 2 gave emerging affluents a new direction through Citibank pledging to set category-breaking standards to empower them.
我會延長服務時間到夜晚7點。
我會親自接聽你嘅電話查詢，全日24小時真人對話。
我唔會俾你嘅存款原地踏步。
唔會有多重收費影響你嘅投資回報。
由你申請貸款至現金到手，我會30分鐘內辦妥。
喺分行申請信用卡，仲可以做到即日出卡。
等你即時攞到簽賬優惠。
Citibank 為你重新釐定銀行服務，分行更多，營業時間更長，產品更適合你，一切更自主，等你重新掌握生活。全新指標 ，Citibank 全力策動。
Step 3 made emerging affluents believe and act by giving evidence. Results far exceeded business, branding, and advertising targets and set the basis for long-term growth. In 3 months from launch, new customer acquisition grew by 126% versus a 50% increase objective, and main payroll account opening grew by 238% versus a 100% increase objective, a significant proof of emerging affluents overcoming their inertia and switching their main transaction bank. Citibank became the most positively talked about bank in Hong Kong's blogs and forums, whereas sentiment for key competitors decreased. Unaided brand awareness increased by 93% versus a 50% objective, and brand preference increased by 150%, a record high, from an average shift of around 10% in the past years. A category-changing strategy, coupled with insightful communications, translated into exceptionally effective advertising that enabled Citibank to reach the hearts and minds of the disenchanted emerging affluents, while becoming the new point of reference in Hong Kong's retail banking scene.